Hi everybody, welcome to Westminster College in Salt Lake City. My name is Goodhand, I'm the head coach here. Ryan Walton is our defensive coordinator, and today Ryan and I are going to tell you about one of the drills that's one of the most famous drills or favorite drills of our players during practice. We call it Pioneer, and what we've got set up here on our board is the little chip markers represent offense and defense. The defense is in red, the offense is in white, and the lines show these guys are on deck ready to run into the drill, and these guys are in line and getting ready to take their turn. This drill is for training in uneven situations. It is a tempo drill and a competitive drill, and we'll explain a little more about those terms and how that's important to us in just a little bit. The way the drill works is essentially we take a ball and we give it to the goalie, and the goalie's going to take the ball and he's going to throw it to one offensive player. He's going to try to have a little bit of hang time with the ball because the defense has to fill in and defend this from the perimeter on every try. So the longer hang time the goalie throws to the player coming in, the more time the defense has to recover. On every play, when the ball goes to an offensive player, a defensive player comes in from the opposite side of the play. On the very first time we throw a ball out, the player that's catching the ball has a teammate join him from either the right or the left as specified by the coaches that day, or however you want to do it. So when this goalie throws the ball out here to number 25 and he's getting ready to attack, this guy on deck here will be running to the hole to defend it, and this player will come as an off-ball player in to create a 2-on-1 in front of the goal. This player obviously will have to force this player to either take a shot or pass the ball and try to scrape and defend both players at once. Once the shot is taken, and there is a bit of a time limit, these guys can't just take all day. They pretty much have a count of 3 to 5 seconds or 5 to 8 seconds to get their shot off. Once the shot is taken, saved, goal, missed the cage, whichever, goalie grabs another ball. These players stay in the middle, and the goalie throws the ball to another offensive player of his choosing. He can throw it to this guy who stepped up on deck, he can throw it back to the top again, or he can throw it to any one of the other players that are in the on-deck circle. So if he throws it here, now only one player is going to come in with him, and that player is the defender coming in from the opposite side. So we have 2 players on offense inside the ball, a goalie, 1 player on defense being joined by another player, and so we have a 3-on-2. Again, it is a relatively short period of time that we let the offense have the ball before they have to get a shot off, making it somewhat realistic for a game where there's a player trailing the play and is going to come make it all even here pretty quickly. Player brings it in, and one player will have to claim he's stopping the ball, the other player will have to play 2 and make a reaction as soon as the ball is fed or passed to one of those 2. Throws it here, takes a shot. Now the goalie is ready to start round 3 of the same drill. He throws the ball to another player on offense. The players that have come into the field have stepped up to fill the on-deck spots, and the ball goes here. This gentleman attacks the cage. One of these defenders moves to stop, while this defender comes in from the backside to help defend against the 2-on-3. Again, this is our goalie in the cage, so we have 3 offensive players being defended by 2 and 1 player stopping the ball. This drill progresses. It can progress all the way to a 6-on-5 if you have enough players to run it that way. If you have less players, you can stop it at a 4-on-3 or a 5-on-4, or even at a 3-on-2 if you have very limited numbers. Now Ryan will talk a little bit about what are the teaching points that we go over in this drill with our players as they progress through it.
So some quick points. Defensively, we look for several different things, most aptly our individual skills. What we try to work on is picking up from the inside out, meaning as we have a trailing player, we want to make sure we break to the hole first and then redirect and pick up from the inside out. Secondly, our sticks need to be up. We have to be in passing lanes. Lastly, you're always going to have a man and a half, so meaning you're either going to have, as 2 backside guys are poking in, you have a gentleman down here with the ball carrying it, we have a defenseman playing him, you're always going to have a man and a half, meaning you're kind of splitting these two with 2 players. So you can see it's a 2-on-3, and as that progresses to a 3-on-4, 4v5, etc. Team skills. It's all about communication and defense. If we're not communicating who the open player is, who has ball, who has the man and a half, we're going to get done. Lastly are the team concepts. That's that the roles constantly change. You either have the ball or you have a man and a half. So your role can be here, and as that ball moves up to another player, your role as this individual is going to change. Now he may step up and have the ball, and you got to cover the backside too. Roles are constantly changing in defense. Offensive key points. The individual skills we focus on are off-ball teamwork, meaning we have to find that 2-on-1. You have to be able to communicate who the open player is. Accurate passing, hit that box. If you're not throwing a good pass for somebody to move that ball, the triple threat position, it's not going to be very effective. The team skills we work on in offense are exploiting space, spreading that field, making it really hard for the defenseman to cover you. So as they move the ball around, if they're wide and far out, this defenseman has to cover a lot of space between the two. Exploit that space. Lastly are the concepts. Draw and dump. If you're not drawing a player, not drawing that slide effectively, you're not going to cause much of a slide motion defense, or a slide motion for our defense. So if you're not drawing that guy here to move that ball, this guy can just sit back and wait for you to come into him. So those are really the 2 kind of key concepts we take care of for defense and offense.
Thanks, Ryan. So again, the drill is called Pioneer, and it covers the uneven situations that happen at many, many different times during a game. The skill sets that we use, Ryan has reviewed, and we call it a tempo drill. What that means to us is a coach doesn't need to start it and stop it. Once it's started, a player, in this case the goalie, with a pile of balls, starts the next play every time. And so therefore it's a high tempo drill, we go fast. Lastly, it's a competitive drill. We find that the more we can make our guys keep score in practice, the more they put into it. The more trash talking they do, the more they start pounding their chest when they go they force the offense to go 0 for 5 in an unsettled situation. And so it helps them measure their success based on the parameters that we've laid for the drill. Ryan talked about one thing that may or may not be a common term for you, and that's called the triple threat position. On offense, we want players to be able to hold the ball behind their ear in their stick with a vertical stick. That's the triple threat position. If the ball is out of the box, they've got to snap it, grab it, and move it to the triple threat position. In an unsettled situation, that's another step for a defenseman. That's a stick now in the passing lane that wasn't there before. So getting the passes to be so we can operate everything out of the triple threat position all the time is a key skill for offense where the drill breaks down. And then defensively, the concept of roles changing on every pass is really hard for some kids to grasp. Now my job is to get the ball, and I communicate I have the ball. Now my job is to cover 2 guys. Man and a half is the concept. Again, we use these key words like man and a half, sticks up, hit the box, triple threat, to try to draw pictures in their heads of the key skills they need to master to be able to handle this uneven situation. Thank you very much for joining us for Griffin Lacrosse. We have some videos now of this drill. One is with a player, a camera mounted with a player from the inside of the drill out. One is from somebody on the outside of the drill holding the camera and perhaps giving a little verbiage about what's going on in the drill. We hope you enjoy it. Look forward to having a great season here at Westminster and looking forward to seeing you again. Thanks.
Whoa! There I go, ball! Whoa! Here I got ball, I got ball! Whoa!
Whoa, whoa! Hey, give him up! Go.
Here I got play. Two! Ball! Oh!
Back left! Take off right! Take off right! Awesome! Box! Get behind the box one! I don't know how you caught that. Side of the ball goes to the one, right? Lock it! Lock it! Steven!